I own a business and I'm getting divorced. How do we divide that business? Well, the answer is it depends. What type of business is it? Is it a business that has inventory? Is it a service business? And more importantly, or equally as important, I can't count that asset twice. Meaning, my spouse might say, I want you to pay alimony based on the income you derive from this business. And I want my fair share of the value of the business. That becomes a very complex situation, which you need the skill often of an accountant plus your attorney to come up with those numbers, the value of the business and how much income I'm actually deriving from that business for support purposes. The value of a business is often one of the most highly disputed issues in a case where one or both of the parties own businesses. Some attorneys will use one forensic accountant to do a valuation. Other attorneys will recommend that each side has their own. We can often have dual reports on the actual value of the business. One party has an interest in making the business seem to be valued a lot lower. The other may say it's valued a lot higher. Either way, you need both skilled forensic accountants as well as attorneys to help you navigate this process. If I get divorced, do I want to be business partners with my former spouse? Maybe, but probably not. So in the divorce, my fair share of my spouse's business doesn't mean that I suddenly have a seat at the table and I own 50% or X percentage of the company. Instead, I'm saying to my spouse, you have to pay me out my fair share, whether it's paid out in a lump sum or it's paid out over time, or we swap some assets so that I am made whole in getting my fair share of the business. But it doesn't mean that I suddenly go into a business partnership with my former spouse. Now, if my spouse and I own the business together, that can be extremely complicated because who's going to actually own the business at the conclusion of the divorce? Is our relationship healthy enough that we can still be business partners and not be married? Or do we just sell the company and agree to reset our lives and not compete with each other in the same industry? These are all very complex conversations that will require a skilled attorney, forensic accountant, and some level-headed litigants. Oftentimes in a divorce, when there are complex assets, either businesses or other assets, investment accounts, in a mediation setting or a negotiation, we can swap things. So things of similar value, but they might have a different meaning to a party. For instance, there's a home, and the home has $500,000 in equity. And there's an investment account, which today is valued at $500,000. If the home is of utmost importance to me, and the home, perhaps it has an interest rate, a phenomenal interest rate on the mortgage, I might say to my spouse, instead of me giving you half of the house and you giving me half of your investment account, you keep yours, I keep the house, sign off on the deed, and I'll keep the house. That's a good swap. I have a business and I have a partner. And then I have my spouse, and we're getting divorced. What interest does my business partner have in my divorce? None. But my business partner certainly cares about what may happen to the business in the process of the divorce. And my business partner may want to have the attorney that helps the business weigh in on some of the decision making. And there may often be early on some non-disclosure agreements that we're signing because now my spouse, in the context of the litigation, is going to have access to finances up to and perhaps including my business partner's financial interests in the company. And so we can protect some privacy rights here with non-disclosure agreements. And oftentimes the business attorney may want a seat at that table when we're ultimately getting ready to put pen to paper and craft a settlement agreement. In addressing business interests in a divorce, there are many ways to resolve it. Oftentimes I see a buyout. So once we have valued the spouse's interest in the business, there'll be some buyout number for the other spouse, the spouse that didn't work in the company. That buyout can come in the form of swapping another asset. That buyout could come in the form of payouts over time. That buyout can also come in the form of a payment on a date certain. So for instance, the spouse might say, in 5 years, I plan on selling the business. And when I sell the business, I'm going to pay you your X plus interest because he's paid it out over time or she's paid it out over time. Getting divorced when you own a business is a complex issue. There are ways that you can protect your business interest, your partner's business interest, as well as ensuring that the business isn't double counted as income to you, as well as an asset that needs to be divided. Our skilled attorneys can help you navigate this process. If you have any questions, give us a call.